to the riverside, counting days, passing time. Yeah, we were young and so alive. Now it feels like another life. So can you tell me a different story? 'Cause the one I got, you know it's getting old.
Here we go. Let's get into this, shall we? Let's see. So, all right. This is episode episode 7, Breaking the Chains. So, welcome back. Welcome back to Unfiltered with Christopher. This is where we strip away all the filters, where we talk about the real, unpolished truth of life. Because pretending everything is fine when it's not, that's never really been my style, right? If you're here, you're probably searching for answers, for change, for a way to finally break free from whatever's been weighing you down. And I get it because I've been there. Today's episode is called Breaking the Chains. And this one, boy, this one is personal. So, we're talking about the kind of chains that don't just hold you back, but they change you, right? You know, the ones that you don't even realize you're carrying until one day you look back in the mirror and you don't recognize yourself anymore. You know, for me it started with escaping my past, running headfirst into the military, thinking it would solve everything. But instead, I walked right into a different kind of war. I gained combat trauma. I lost pieces of myself. And when I thought I had finally found stability in something, stability in the military, stability in marriage, stability in fatherhood, I got hit with betrayal and heartbreak in ways that I never saw coming. You know, the worst part of it all is I'm still trying to figure out who the hell I am after all of it. So if you're if you have ever felt lost, if you've ever felt like there's no matter how hard you try, it's never enough, this episode's for you. And I'm here for you. I'm here for you. If there's something that I can do, please reach out. I'm here. So let's get into it.
Time in the world now, I just need more. I just need more. Take me down the desert roads. We crash the car, getting stoned.
So we're gonna get into this and we're gonna do this together, right? I'm here. This is me, and we're doing this. So when I joined the military, you know, I was 20, pushing 21. I went to basic training when I turned 21 on my first deployment, and I deployed 30 days after I was complete with OSET. You know, I was an infantryman. You know, follow me. I'm not anymore, but um, so that changed me, right? When I joined the army, I thought I was finally breaking free, right? No more toxic cycles, no more feeling trapped. The military the military gave me structure, purpose, and for a while it felt like I felt like I escaped. I escaped the weight of my past. I escaped who I was. But what they don't tell you is that some chains don't just disappear because you change your surroundings. Just because you change your surroundings doesn't mean that it changes you and who you are because you still have your core beliefs, right? So, what else changes you is combat. I didn't even think about that, you know, when I was joining, I didn't even think about it. I joined the military. I joined it as an infantryman. I wanted to kill people and blow shit up, right? I was a young gung ho fucking man, you know. But combat changes you. It strips away who you were. It leaves scars that you don't even see. You can't always see. And when you come back, you're supposed to act normal, right? Like, go about life like nothing happened because it's a job, but it's not your typical 9 to 5, right? Like, I wasn't just flipping some burgers at MacD's, you know? But, you know, you're not the same. you're not the same because of a number of reasons. You're gone for an extended period of time. My first deployment was a 12-month deployment. Yeah, sure, I got to go home on R&R for those 12-month deployments, but that's a year's time. And what a lot of people don't realize is that it's not only the environment that you're in that's changing you, but I was still maturing as a person. I mean, I turned 21 at the beginning of my deployment. Like it's going to change who you are, and it's going to change how you react, and everything's going to change you, right? But you don't know whether it's going to be the good or the bad. You just don't know. But you're supposed to go about life like nothing happened after a deployment or combat deployment, or it's a big deal, right? But you're not the same person. The things you saw, the choices you made, and the people you lost, that those feelings and those emotions, they don't just disappear. The worst part is that you don't even know how to explain it to people who weren't there. You don't even know how to explain it to the people that were there because everybody's different, right? Some people are perfectly good with it. Some people want to say they're good with it, but they're burying it deep down inside. And that's what I did. I learned to push it deep. I mean, I learned that from a young age, right? My traumas, I didn't know were traumas. But you numb it. You keep moving because stopping means dealing with the weight of everything that you've been through. I mean, that's why I joined the military, right? Was to escape what I was going through. And that's terrifying, right? So then we're going to get into a different kind of war. Just when I thought the army had given me enough, as soon I mean, I'm still here, but when I thought, the traumas of my past, the traumas from combat and everything, when I thought all that was over, life threw me into another one, marriage. And I thought I had finally found some kind of stability, a family. My second wife, well, my second wife, it she had two kids from her previous relationship when I married her, and I adopted them. I gave them my last name. I wanted to be the best father I could, even though I had no idea what I was doing. And I'll be honest, I probably wasn't the best father. I didn't have a fucking blueprint. Nobody told me. All I had was my past to go off of. And I turned out pretty fucking good. But I was learning as I went, and I was trying to be a provider. I was trying to give them a better life than I had. But no matter how hard I tried, it never felt like it was enough. And today they want nothing to do with me. Those two kids want nothing to do with me after that divorce. And I raised them for 9 years of their life, but they want nothing to do with me. Now, I don't know if it's their choice that they want nothing to do with me, or maybe they were convinced to believe something, you know, but it still hurts. My son told me just over the summer, he goes, uh, you know, you were an overwhelmingly negative force in my life. The overwhelming force of negativity in my life. And if I could change my last name, I would. You know, that fucking that broke me because all I did was try. Maybe I didn't always get it right, but I tried. And to hear that, to know that the kids I loved, the ones I gave my name to, wanted nothing to do with me, that kind of pain, it doesn't just fade away. It doesn't. And it's really disheartening to know to hear that and to be living that when I still love my mom, I still love my dad. I love them very much, and I'd be very distraught if I could never talk to them again if something was to happen to them. But my kids, the ones I adopted, want it's too easy for them, and I don't understand for the life of me how that can be. But my ex-wife, she played me, right? She cheated, she manipulated on me, she made me feel like I was never good enough, like I was the problem. And the worst part was I started believing it then. I thought I didn't deserve any better. I let her convince me that, looking back on it now, that I was less than I wanted to be, that I deserved the way she treated me. And by the time I realized how deep the manipulation ran, it was too late. The damage was done. I was already dealing with all kinds of other trauma, On top of that, as you all know, like I had my vices from prior to the military. So when you join the military, they don't tell you that there's a lot of drinking, a lot, and it's a norm. It's a social norm. It's a it's just the way that soldiers operate. They drink, right? They can't do anything else. They ain't smoking weed. They ain't doing pills. They ain't doing anything else. They're fucking drinking, and guess what? You know, my background, a lot of alcoholics, right? Y'all know that. Um, you know, it just it became the norm. But there I was, right? I was a soldier who didn't know how to be a father. Uh, I didn't know how to be a soldier. I didn't know how to be a person. I was a husband at the time who gave everything just to be betrayed. A man trying to find himself in the wreckage of everything that was supposed to be stable. And let me tell you, when you lose your sense of identity, when you don't even know what you're fighting for anymore, that's a dangerous place to be. And if I'm being real, which I am, that's what this is about. I still don't have all the answers. I still struggle with trusting people. I still question if I'll ever fully heal from everything that I've been through. But what I do know is this. You ready? I refuse, fucking refuse to let my past define the rest of my life. I am living in the now. This is who I am. Maybe I don't know who I'll be tomorrow, but I'll be damned if I'm not the better version of myself yesterday. I'm here. If y'all need to talk about that, I'm here. But if you've ever felt like you're stuck in a cycle that you can't escape, let me tell you something. You can you can you can break free. It's not going to be easy and it's not going to happen overnight, but you can do it. Only you can do it. I've kind of broken it down. I think there's 4 steps. So I've been through CBT, CPT, something like that, cognitive behavioral therapy, right? And the thing that they teach you there um is everything's a habit, right? You're just in this circle, this habit. Everything you do in life is a habit. And when you're raised a certain way, that's all a habit. And when you know that something isn't the way that it's supposed to be, you're trying to break that habit. You're trying to break out of that circle, right? And sometimes, you know, I don't know if you guys remember the old Windows Media Player that had like the um it was like a graphic that would vibrate with the music or whatever. And there was always these the circles and they had like ripples in them, right? So in that circle, you try to break it and there's a ripple and it doesn't always get out, right? You go right back into the cycle. And with addictions, especially with habits, that's how it is, especially when you're trying to break them, is you're not always going to get it right. I've been working on my sobriety. I for I mean, it's 2025 for at least 7, 8 years that I finally figured out that it was a problem. I've went days, weeks, months, almost years without drinking. Yes, almost years. I haven't ever had a full 12 months of not drinking, or substance abuse or anything, probably since I was like 12 years old. Um, but it's a process, and every day that you try, you're trying to break that habit, and you're trying to build a new life for yourself. But the 4 steps, right? The 4 steps to breaking that cycle, in my opinion, right? I'm not PhD, no, nothing like that. But first, you acknowledge the damage. You can't heal what you won't face, right? So stop pretending that everything is fine when it's not. Stop. It's not fine. Change it. And that's when you go into step 2, right? You let shit go, right? You cut out everything that's holding you back, whether it's toxic relationships, self doubt, unhealthy habits, addictions, anything like that. You cut that shit the fuck out. And then you, you find your own path. Not who your parents told you to be, not who your grandparents, your friends, society, your teachers, anything like that. For me, not who the military told me to be, not who your relationships force you to be. It's who you want to be. You find your own path, right? And then step 4, you accept. You accept. You accept that that healing takes time, right? Healing, it doesn't just happen overnight. Some wounds, they don't disappear, but every step forward is a step away from the chains that were holding you down. And that's how you become a better person. You do those 4 steps. You acknowledge the damage. You cut out what's holding you back. You find your own path, and you accept that healing takes time. And if you do that, I promise it'll help you. In my opinion, that's what's helped me. And I'm here to talk about it. You guys need to talk about it. Drop it in the comments. Hit me up on social medias, anything like that. I'm here. So next, I kind of want to backtrack a little bit because I feel like this episode I kind of spiraled a little bit, and kind of went off on a tangent, as my beautiful wife likes to say. She goes off on her tangents on her podcast, Sweet and Savage podcast. If you guys don't know it, and you guys are following, go ahead and check that one out. It's pretty good. I like it. She encouraged me to start my own podcast, actually. But so what I want to follow up with is, from when I decided to join the military to when I did join the military, and I want to push a little bit into that to after my first deployment because, you know, I decided to join the military. I fell into a lot of the same kind of like habits, things like that, and I fucked around and found out. Um, But anyway, I made it through basic training, made it through OSET. I was an infantryman, went to Afghanistan for 12 months, came back. And while I was there, I was around people that were addicts, right? Like, it was a crazy time in Afghanistan in 2011, 2012. And then the military certainly wasn't what it was then is what it was now. But um, it was a rough time. And look, if I can do it, you guys can do it. Anybody can do it. Maybe you've already done it. Maybe you just need someone to talk about. Maybe you want to share your story. And that's what we're going to get into here. So I'm going to give you guys a little here.
These days are running slow. Sunsets and shores far from home. Headlights are shining on the sea. No place on earth I'd rather be than I could try to.
So let's get into this. Listen, if how do I say this? I know what it's like to feel like you're never enough. To feel that no matter how much you try, people still walk away from you. But let me tell you something, you are enough. And the people who don't see that, their loss, not yours. Fuck them. That's right. So tell me, what chains what chains are you working on breaking? What chains do you need help with? What chains have you broke? Let's talk about it. Hit me up on social media, share the episode or drop a comment, right? And if you're feeling this message, hit that follow button so that we can keep pushing forward together. Until next time, stay strong, stay unfiltered, and I'll see you on the next one.